Okay, let's talk about something that no one wants to admit. And that is you're doing all of the things. You're journaling, you're meditating, you're visualizing, you're clearing limiting beliefs. You're probably even like purchasing like spiritual activations or abundance activations and doing the work, doing all of the things that everybody tells you that you need to do in order to manifest what it is that you desire. And it's not that it's not working, it's that you've hit a plateau, you've hit the ceiling. It probably feels really, really frustrating because you feel stuck, even though you've done all of this work and you continue to do the work, and it's just not gaining any traction. You're not gaining any speed in which your manifestations come in. You're not able to manifest more, like a healthier love or more money or whatever it is that you want. And honestly, it's frustrating. Like it's so frustrating to be in this place of doing everything right and still not getting what it is that you want at the level that you want it. And probably it's coming with struggle. It's coming with frustration. It's coming with probably some resentment too, even. You're at this place of like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me that I can't figure this out? What is wrong with me that other people have a much easier time receiving more and more, and yet I'm doing everything right and I'm still not where I know that I could be or where I want to be? Here's the truth. It's not that you're not doing enough. It's not that you're not worthy. It's not that somebody else has cracked the code. And if you can just figure it out, that you'll be golden too. The problem is that you're doing all of the right things from the wrong energy, from the wrong identity. And it's not that there's a right or wrong. It's wrong as in you're still operating from fear. You're still operating from lack. You're still operating from this place of needing to control how your desires come to you, how you're willing to show up to receive your desires. It's a tough pattern to break, especially if you're somebody that has used fear as momentum, if you're somebody that has used your intelligence to figure things out, to problem solve. When you get to this next level manifestation, those things can become a hindrance because you're not trusting in yourself. You're not trusting in your soul's guidance. You're not trusting in your ability to actually receive the things. And that is what is going to prevent you every single time from breaking through this plateau of just enough or having to work really hard and calling in struggle and frustration. It's a simple shift. And it's also probably the most, I don't want to say painful, but painful, stretching shift that you will make. And it's also the most liberating one that you'll make as well. If this is you, it probably feels like, what is wrong with me? Am I just lazy? Like what I'm doing everything that I thought would work or that has worked in the past. I'm not doing enough, therefore I'm not good enough. What tends to happen in that too is feeling exhaustion, burnout, resentment. And it's like this spiral that can just go wildly out of control. Here's the thing is it's possible to be doing all of the quote unquote right things and still operating from fear, from unworthiness, from the need to control, from lack, from I don't have it. What this looks like is, are you doing the work from the work, from a place of being the version of you that has what you want, or from a place of trying to fix what's broken or trying to problem solve and if I just follow the steps correctly, I'll receive the thing. And like I said, like that will work until you reach a certain point where it stops working. And then it's like identity crisis because I've always been the person that works hard for what she wants. I've always been the person that if I want something, I get it, to becoming the person that like leans back and knows that I have everything that I want. and anything that I want is aligned for me. It's just this different way of being that can be terrifying to somebody that is always worked or problem solved, like put the puzzle pieces together in order to receive. And your worthiness is probably wrapped up in that too, where it's like, I earned this, to this place of I don't have to earn it. I'm worthy just because I am. Right. And I can feel like people being like, what do you mean? Right. It's tender. It's a tender identity shift. And when you're able to really step into the version of you that has everything that you want and operating from that place, things come easy. And that can also be a bit of a mind fuck because you're like, I've spent my whole life operating this other way and it didn't need to be this difficult. Right. And so there is grieving in this process. Of course, there is. Everything has led up to you being at the point where you can, like, set down your sword, where you can set down the struggle. And so, not to bypass the grief or the sadness, but to put it in perspective that everything has been perfectly laid out for you to get to this moment. And that might help you like relax into this shift a little bit. Ways that you might be manifesting from struggle, the word struggle, it's like who wants to struggle, but also when you are somebody that has struggled and like overcome struggled, there's like this pride that comes with it. And it's like, I am worthy because I went through the fire. I am worthy because I had nothing and I figured it out, right? And it's like, again, that works until it doesn't. And when you reach the plateau, when you reach the ceiling, learning to soften this a bit just makes everything so much easier. And it's difficult to let it go. I'm not going to lie. It's difficult to let the need to overcome go. And also, like, you don't have to rush that process, but it's just starting to have an awareness of what's happening is enough to kind of like break through a bit. And once you start operating from this way, it becomes easier and easier to continue because you are able to find more peace and more joy, and it just becomes easier and better. Some of the ways that you might be manifesting from struggle is like treating the work like a transaction. So a thought that comes with this is like, if I clear this wound, I'll get the thing. If I look in the mirror for 10 minutes every day and say my affirmations, the end of the week, I will have what I want. If I do XYZ exactly how this other person did XYZ, then I will have the same thing as that person. And when it's transactional like that, you're operating from the energy of trying to earn it. Right? Like if I show up at my job for 8 hours, I get paid for 8 hours. That's not how manifestation works. I mean, it does in the beginning. It does to a certain extent. But like when you're operating from this energy, what you're saying is, I don't believe that I'm already worthy. I believe that I have to work hard in order to receive. And that is what you will get. It will become hard to receive. It will become just out of reach. It will be everybody else around you receives the thing, but you. It is, I don't want to say solidifying, like you can't change it. You can change it, but it like solidifies the belief that receiving what you want is difficult and you're not worthy and you have to work hard continuously. And it's like the manifestations might come, but it's going to come with struggle. It's going to come with like conditions. It's going to come with, I don't want to say pain, like like actual pain, but it with pain, like there's going to be issues with it. Another reason is your nervous system doesn't feel safe with ease, doesn't feel safe receiving just because. I didn't believe this at first until I shifted it. I was like, fuck, like, oh, it's true. But you become used to the struggle that when things come to you in ease, it's like, wait a minute, waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like boring. It's suspicious. It feels so unsafe because that's not what you are used to or what you're conditioned to expect from the way the world works. And so it's like your subconscious will sabotage the easeful reception of your manifestations, I didn't believe this, right? Like I didn't believe this for a long time because I'm like, why wouldn't I want it to come to me safe? Why wouldn't I want more money just to fall out of the sky? Why wouldn't I want my person to just walk through the door? And it's like, because I don't fucking trust it, right? Like if you receive a large sum of money just from nowhere, you're like, oh no, like the cops are going to be called or whatever, right? And it's like you just don't trust it. Or if your person walks in, you're going to be like, boring, boring. I didn't have to chase. I didn't I didn't have to like earn this person's love and affection. Ew. Like, no thank you. And that will keep you from receiving, because even if it comes, you don't believe it. You don't believe it. You don't feel safe with it, so you'll push it away. Another thing is this is kind of goes hand in hand with the transactional, but like if you're doing the work to get, if you're doing the work to get, if you're like, I'll show up on this manifestation journey because I want the thing, instead of shifting who you are and therefore receiving the thing because you're a match to it. It's like if you're visualizing your dream life and you're just like trying to speed up the process or believing it's tough because when you're first starting out to manifest, a lot of these things are true, and then when you get to these higher levels they become not true. And so it's like I'm like, oh, I really want to be careful saying these things, because to a certain subset of people these things actually are true for where they're at, but like if you're still here, it's not true for you anymore. And so it's like if you're visualizing your dream life to try to speed up the outcome, to try to speed up how you get it, you are reinforcing that you're not there yet. You're reinforcing the belief that you don't have. You are reinforcing the belief that there's something wrong with you that you need to fix. You're reinforcing separation from the thing you want and who you are. So embodiment starts with being her now, being her now, before there's proof. You're like, but actually, I'm not a millionaire. Yeah, because you don't believe that you're a millionaire. And it's like, this is another thing that I was like, so pissed about, because it's like, what do you mean I don't actually have the thing, like, and it's like, yes you do. It's like, what do you mean I don't have it? And it's like, within yourself you have the thing. And once you learn to shift who you are being, instead of trying to like scramble and shift what you're doing, it won't happen, right? Like it's who are you being in this moment? Who are you being in every moment? Who are you being most of the time, right? So the turnaround, what actually starts to shift things? Knowing that it's not about doing more. It's not about even what you do. I used to say this, not so much in manifestation, but like um just in everyday, where it's like it's not what you say, it's how you say it always. And um it's the same thing with manifestation work. It's the same thing with energy. It's like it doesn't matter what you do, it matters how you're doing it. It matters who you're being when you're living, right? Being different. It's about anchoring into the identity of the version of you who has it and letting that version of you lead. And it's not like you have to be perfect. And it's not like, oh, I had a negative thought, therefore thing isn't going to come. It's like, no, learning to build safety within your system to be the version of you that has the thing without having proof is the secret. It is how you become her. It is how you receive the thing. Some people describe it as like being an energetic match. And for me, it goes beyond energy. It's like here in the 3D world, like who you're actually being. If you are somebody, this is an example that I love to give because this was my life forever until I figured it out. It was like I was the person that was forgotten. Like I went to the hospital to have one of my children and was ignored for like 5 days because I didn't believe myself as worthy of being tended to and cared for and all of these things. We'd go to a restaurant and like the waiter or waitress wouldn't even come take our drink order. It was like I believed myself to be somebody that I had to prove my worth, that I had to overcome. And then once I shifted this and became somebody like I believed myself to be somebody that is loved and cared for and paid attention to and respected and all of these things. I didn't have the proof. I shifted that within myself. I gave that to myself. Then my outer world shifted. Then I started noticing all of the ways that people had showed up for me that I didn't even notice before. And it's like, once you're able to be different without having the proof, then your desires get to come to you. And not only do they get to come to you, but they get to come to you rapidly and easily and without the struggle and without the pain and the like disappointment and all of the things, right? So it's truly, truly, truly about building safety in your system to be a different version of yourself enough of the time. And then it starts to shift. So I would love to know what stood out to you the most in this. I'd love to hear, like, what if you already were the version of you that had everything that you desire? And the only real work is to stop resisting, is to stop arguing with that version of yourself. What would be different? What would you call in? How would you, it's like, how would you walk this earth? So let me know in the comments.